Though, steal all the spoons from the White House when she left.
Who hasn't done that?
I've
been to the White House 3 times.
Did you steal the spoons?
How many did you steal?
I stole a flat screen television. I mean, I did spoons. I don't need a fucking
Mary
spoon.
Lincoln didn't do that.
Who needs a spoon? If you're going
Tendresse, use a French word, for Richard Nixon. I like Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
I find him very entertaining.
He's fascinating. Well, my show here in the States began in September of 1993, and a reporter asked me, who would your favorite comedy guest be?
Right.
And I said Richard Nixon, because
good
Richard
answer.
Nixon was still alive. He was the face of comedy for about a good 12 years in our country. All comedy, comedians were obsessed with him.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very fun guy to have sport with. And I mean, he obsessed every comedy writer for, a huge chunk of modern American history. So I wanted to talk to Richard Nixon. And then he passed away. I believe I started in September. I think he died in maybe March. And I thought, there goes my chance.
Do you know what AI? They can bring back some kind of Nixon avatar sweating aggressively at you. Yeah.
So we
Nixon does appear on this podcast many times. I morph into Nixon, even when he's not appropriate. And it's a very cartoonish, over the top.
we went to Disneyland and they've got an animatronic version. They've got a Lincoln and Disney.
Yep.
So I'd have thought that Nixon would be
An animatronic
next on the
Nixon,
list.
like kind of walking
Nixon
very stiffly.
himself was an animatronic.
Yeah.
There may not have ever been.
We love him
too
as
short.
well. We're very keen on inappropriate footwear. People wearing the wrong shoes at the wrong time. And Nixon was brilliant at that because he wore
Black shoes on the beach.
Black shoes on the beach.
Yeah, black shoes on the beach, yeah.
And we like that in a
I admire
president.
that in a man.
Okay, as a little tidbit, and I'm going to brag here for a moment. One of Nixon's biographers who knew him is a woman named Monica Crowley, who's written a lot about Nixon in winter, late in his career. She told me that Nixon, at the very end of his life, was flipping around. He was interested in television. He liked to watch television, and I premiere, and he watched our first episode. And then she said that he liked it and told her, I like it. It's madcap.
Zany.
It's madcap. And I thought, I love that Nixon. Now, I want Monica Crowley to write that down so that it's part of the official record. But she told me that he watched it probably with his shoes on over his pajamas and watched it at 12:30 at night here in America and said, I like it. It's madcap.
Yeah, but he would say it without smiling, wouldn't he?
No, he would.
There'd be no flicker of amusement on his face.
So basically you had 6 months where you could have leveraged that.
Yeah.
I think, well, first of all, very quickly, critics turned on me, and Nixon's advisors probably would have said, well, no, his advisors were famously terrible. They would have said,
double down.
You should break into the DNC for no reason at all and pay the burglars out of your own pocket, and you should immediately go on Conan O'Brien's late night show. So Admiral Lord Nelson for both of you?
Yeah.
I think so.
You've got to throw in somebody ancient though, Tom, though.
No, because people in antiquity are terrifying and terrible. I mean, they're astonishing. I think almost without exception, yes.
Well, I think back then, your average person was grabbing someone who walked by their house and thrusting them over a large sharpened stick.
Yeah.
And impaling them.
There's quite a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
I think that the further back in time you go, the harder it is to relate to people because they are so different. I think of someone like Alexander or Julius Caesar. They are terrifying because they move to kind of moral rhythms that are very, very strange and remote to us.
Yeah.
So I can't kind of love any of them or admire them. So I think it has to be kind of more recent because then you can understand them.
Well, my all-time favorite is Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, because he's the one figure that is more impressive the more I learn about him. The more I think he might be one of our greatest authors, also one of our greatest humanitarians, and an incredible statesman, and funny.
And what's your take on his wife?
Yeah.
Because we had a disagreement about this.
We got into trouble. I got into trouble.
How'd you get into trouble?
Saying she was a monster.
I don't think that's right.
I
think that's too simple. I think it's too simple to say she's a monster. I think she was unwell.
This is unbelievable.
Listen and learn.
I think
I'm literally never coming on this show again.
Well, you weren't coming again anyway. You said that before we even started.
Yeah,
I'll do this once. My people tell me I have to do it.
Right, exactly. I didn't realize you were listening to that conversation.
Let's hear about why Mary Lincoln is not a monster. Dominic.
She is crucial, I think, to Lincoln's rise. She comes from a connected family. She's very ambitious on his behalf. My wife, who's also a massive fan of both you gentlemen, massive fan and regular listener. She did a great podcast called Significant Others, and she talked about Mary Lincoln and Abraham Lincoln and talked about the complexities of what's good about Mary Lincoln, but it's her podcast, and the research was that she did a lot for him. She was very ambitious on his behalf. In some ways, she was a good partner. She was highly flawed, but I think to dismiss her as a monster isn't fair.
Did she not, though, steal all the spoons from the White House when she left?
Who hasn't done that?
I've
been to the White House 3 times.
Did you steal the spoons?
How many did you steal?
I stole a flat screen television. I mean, I did spoons. I don't need a fucking
Mary Lincoln
spoon.
didn't do that.
Who needs a spoon? If you're going to go big, I say.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, but she stole something like 6,000 spoons. Or
Oh,
whatever it was.
come on, get
Come on,
over
honestly.
it. And nothing,
Honestly.
Go on.
Yeah.
What did Margaret Thatcher take when she left power? I do have a question. This is a serious question that has confused me somewhat over time. I sometimes have a take on a British figure that's completely out of step with what British people think of that figure.
So like who?
Well, Margaret Thatcher's one, because I feel that you almost can't, I've been in circles where you almost can't bring her up.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
she has been canceled. And I've seen books of great women in history, and Margaret Thatcher isn't even in there.
Yeah.
And she's this highly significant person. And I understand that there's complexities there, and there are things that she did. But interesting to me that she isn't held in more esteem.
Dominic has written a 7,000-page book on her.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
Is absolutely the man to take this on.
Do you think, am I correct that I've been around Brits and I've said, what do you guys prefer? Brits, limeys? What do you like?
I think with
Englishmen.
Englishmen.
God.
Officers and gentlemen.
Okay. Admiral?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Just sir.
Lord Commander?
Just sir is fine.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Lord Admiral.
Your Highnesses, I have noticed that you have to have her as part of the conversation, and it's as if she didn't exist, and that doesn't feel right to me. Am I correct about that?
I think kind of liberal opinion, for want of a better word, a better phrase, still holds her in very low regard because she was a right of centre politician.
Yep.
A lot of people suffered in the Thatcher government because of deindustrialization.
Yes.
She was a very, very strident and partisan politician. You know, you were one of hers or you were one of the opposition.
Yep.
And she drew the battle lines very clearly. So it's understandable why people hate her, right?
Yes.
I completely get that. I mean, I'm sure Tom would probably agree with me on this. She's an incredibly impressive person.
Yeah.
So if you look at photographs of her government, she's often in the room with 40 men. And she's the only woman.
Yeah.
And she's, made her own way. She's fought her way up the ladder. She's incredibly well prepared because she thinks she has to work harder than any man because she thinks she'll be dismissed at any moment. So she feels she has to become harder than hard to prove that she's not a soft and sensitive woman. All of which maybe makes her quite unlikable. I think she probably wouldn't have got on with us because she had very little sense of humor. And she was hard company, difficult company.
Yeah.
But she is, certainly compared with Britain's recent prime ministers.
So that I think that there's a kind of kaleidoscopic quality to people's reputations in history. And I think the fact that, how long was she? 10 years? She was prime minister for 10 years.
11 years.
And
11
basically,
years.
current prime ministers last about a week.
Yeah. They're like fruit flies. They have the same life expectancy.
Same intellect.
They're so terrible.
But they're nourished on the blood of others.
Yeah. they are so terrible that I think her reputation can only improve by comparison.
Oh, yeah. The comparison between her and Liz Truss, Keir Starmer. Yeah. Rishi's not.
Names that no one listening will ever have heard of any of them.
Yeah, they just enter the front of Downing Street and they go out the back without breaking stride.
Yeah.
I'm also a big Churchillophile. I really love Churchill, and I know that I've talked to British people who, he behaved poorly here, he behaved poorly there. There's a lot of it that maybe doesn't age well. And sometimes I am impatient. I think, oh my God, this was the perfect person at the perfect time with the perfect wit and the perfect eloquence. That alone should protect him. Am I wrong?
He got one massive thing right.
Yes.
And I think essentially that cancels everything he got wrong.
Yes. Yeah. Also, you got to give a massive credit.
When you say one massive thing right, just for anyone who's, people were trying to appease Hitler, and he said enough of this.
So he's right about that, but I think specifically, it's the moment when the Nazis are on the French coast. There's a serious prospect that the British government may open negotiations with Hitler.
Yep.
And had that happened, then the history of Europe and of the world would have been radically different.
Yes.
That it doesn't happen is massively down to Churchill.
Because of one man who said no.
Right. I mean, there's amazing.
It's a pinch point.
There's an amazing
incredible
story
pinch point.
about him addressing his MPs and saying to them, "If this Long Island story of ours is to end, let it end only when we are choking in our own blood on the ground."
Yeah.
And that kind of stirring stuff. I mean, nobody says that outside movies. He says that, he galvanizes the English language, the English people.
I have a theory that, again, I'm just going to go with Brits because I don't know what else to say, that the British people are famously afraid of or wary of puffed up language or, I know it's certainly true of the Celts. The minute someone starts to say, everyone is going, oh, get over yourself.
Yeah.
That all the rhetoric I love of Churchill's sometimes is slightly embarrassing.
Well, the thing is, he speaks like that from about the age of 4.
Yeah.
And it makes him a very comical figure. So what is it? The age of 10?
Yeah, I know, he's at school.
I love him at 4 saying, anyone who will not give that toy and put it back in my pram will choke on their own blood.
But the thing is, he at the age of 10 or something when he's at school, he's writing essays about how he is going to save Britain from foreign invasion.
Yeah.
And he, in a sense, his whole life has been preparation for 1940 when he
and the other thing,
he stands alone.
He got loads wrong. He made loads of terrible mistakes, and some of his more intemperate statements don't stand up very well today to our scrutiny. But when you look at his life, he had an amazing life.
Oh my God, he is Zelig.
I mean,
the Woody Allen movie
right.
Zelig, where he's in every pivotal moment
South
in history.
Africa, and he escapes from a Boer prisoner of war camp. He's in Cuba when the Americans are fighting in Cuba. He's fighting in India.
He's hit by a cab in New York City in the 1930s.
These crazy.
He's everywhere.
This extraordinary life. Plus, he is such a likable personality. He's so ebullient. Yeah. He's such fun. He's a great laugh. If he was sitting next to you at dinner, you wouldn't get a word in edgeways.
Oh, I would.
But he'd.
You know who you're messing with. Hey, Winston! Ooh, let this Irish idiot in here.